Cheers to the underage drinking crowd, drinking by yourself in your room. I was there with you 10 years ago, maybe 7 years ago. But I kind of got a line. I just thought of a line in the song, and I hope, if it's a good line. So if somebody else thought of it, then good. Or maybe if I heard it before, somewhere along the line, if I heard it before, and I'm just regurgitating it somehow. I looked it up on the internet. The line is, without further ado, is I wasn't born dumb. I learned to be that way. Then I've been thinking those little riddles up. There's a name for it. If you can name the name of those type of sayings, quote, scratch that. If you can name, please, I would encourage you to yeah. But yeah. Ad hominem disaster. It's not ad hominem. It's a non sequitur. I'm thinking out loud. If you could have thought of that, I could offer a prize. Some kind of mind prize. The next currency is the mind, the fruits of the mind. In the mind exists infinity. Apparently, it appears, from my mind at least, that the world, or the solid world, matter, does not behave in an infinite sort of fashion, at least on this plane of time, because there's this, only one thing can happen at once, and for one thing to happen over time, for one thing to happen, that means that there has to be another thing that could have happened, I think, or there could have been multiple things. That is the crux, or the chi, the x intersection, or it's the boundary between whether or not we're autonomous beings. Basically, at least the definition that I ascribe to, or kind of believe in order to be an autonomous being, this being must be able to do an infinite amount of things, if not more than two things at once. I kind of think that in our minds, we've gained the ability of foresight, and foresight can be defined as the ability to foresee, or to engage in mental activity that can foresee future behaviors. So we can see these future behaviors in our minds, and we can do it perhaps infinite amount of times. So we can see situations. You've heard this idea. It's not my idea, but if that were so, in our mind we can probably do that. We can probably do it infinitely amount, or more than one or two times. We can have that foresight. We can think things through, basically. But in reality, you can't go back in time. So one thing only happens at once. So you see, the outside world isn't completely, in that sense, it isn't in harmony with our mental state of things. Well, it's kind of hard to get around that. But I did define a bunch of terms. Yeah, but I started with a before I went on this brief interlude, I was talking about a song lyric that I just thought of. I think I already said it. I wasn't born dumb. I learned to be that way. See, it's not irony. It's some kind of literary device, method, technical term. Some kind of literary term could explain it. It's a literary device. Like it's kind of like a joke. Like I must have done something wrong. God must have got mad at me. He took my ability to speak. But you know, I didn't complain about it. But yeah, that song. I wasn't born dumb, I learned to be that way. God took away my ability to speak, but I didn't complain. I didn't complain. And I've never been too good at chess, but I can see that you are 2 steps ahead. And the winner never's pleasure is a cold. I'm out of control. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about love. And I'm hanging with my little brother's friends. We're at a slow and steady scholarly pace. Somebody told me it's the end, so I better get on pace. On pace for love. On pace for love. There you go. Good night, Irene.